Good day everyone, my name is Tana Andrea Di Macabante and I am the 11th reporter of this group. So our group is tasked to discuss about test development and item analysis. So throughout the discussion, we have discussed that test development has different steps, and one of those steps is the item analysis. So those 5 steps are test conceptualization, test construction, test tryout, and then the fourth one is the item analysis, and the last is the test revision. So we have also introduced to you and discussed to you what is item analysis. So in item analysis, again, it is the act of analyzing responses to individual test questions with the intention of evaluating test quality. So through item analysis, malalaman natin if a certain item is fit or measures what it purports to measure. And with that, we will be able to know if a certain item okay ba siya na i-retain or kailangan ba siyang i-revise or kailangan talaga siyang i-discard totally at hindi na isali sa test na yon. So we have also discussed those indices na kailangan natin makuha in order for us to know na okay yung certain item or certain question na yon. So aside from those item difficulty index, item reliability index, and even the discrimination, we also have other considerations na kailangan nating i-considera for us to know kung tama ba yung interpretation or yung result na kung paano natin in-interpret yung isang item na yon as okay to be retained or kailangan i-revised or discard. So though these other considerations usually is kailangan siyang isaalang-alang, especially throughout sa process ng pag-take ng certain test na yon, or if ever other influences and other factors na maaring ma-experience ng isang test taker. So I will be going to discuss to you the other considerations in item analysis. So before we go on, we have here our topic outline. So for our topic outline, we will be discussing those considerations in guessing, in item fairness, and also in speed test. Also, for our intended learning outcome, at the end of the discussion, the students will be able to discuss the considerations that must be done to avoid misleading results in item analysis. So first, we have guessing. So lahat naman tayo familiar with guessing. Usually, nangyayari ito especially kapag hindi familiar yung isang test taker doon sa question or doon sa item na yon and wala siyang idea kung ano ang isasagot sa certain item na yon. May mga pagkakataon din na nangyayari itong guessing kapag nagmamadali yung isang test taker and pina-follow na lang kung ano yung naunang pattern, kumbaga yung mga pattern sa pagsagot ng test. And also, may mga pagkakataon din na nag-guess yung isang test taker kasi yun yung feel niya na sagot for that certain question. So, sinasabi dito na guessing is really a common problem in item analysis. Kasi nga, hindi napipigilan ang isang test taker to guess. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng bagay maaaring alam niya. So, however, bago natin i-interpret yung certain item na yon or yung certain answer na yon na based lang siya sa guess, kailangan pa rin i-consider na may mga test taker na nag-guess hindi dahil hindi nila alam yung certain item na yon, but because alam nila yung ibang choices, although medyo nakalilito yung question na yon, but then medyo familiar siya doon sa ibang choices. Kumbaga, guessing is not always done in a random basis. So there are instances wherein an item is familiar with the test question or with the other choices under that item. With that, the test taker may have removed other choices. Kumbaga sa isang item na yon, feel niya yung isang choices doon, especially kapag multiple choice exam, yung ganun. Feel niya doon sa choices, may isang choices doon na hindi related talaga sa possible na question. So may possibility na i-omit niya yon from the choices. And then, so on and so forth, hanggang sa makarating siya doon sa certain choice na yon na possible na related doon sa certain question. So, it will depend on her knowledge, or depending his or her own knowledge, or depending on how related the question is to the choices, coming up with the best choice which can be right or wrong. Also naman, aside from considering na hindi talaga nangyari yung guessing kasi walang alam yung isang test taker, there are items that are omitted or left unanswered by the test taker, or it is left blank kumbaga. It also needs to be considered kasi hindi dapat i-interpret yung certain item na yon as sobrang hirap or talagang wrong yun yung item na yon. Kasi may mga pagkakataon yung nakaliligtaan ng isang test taker, also maaring ayun nga, in-skip yung certain item na yun kasi mahirap or possible na hindi nabasa ng isang test taker. So, kailangan din yung i-consider. And also, in guessing, it is said na may mga, just like sa mga raffle and other instances na may mga lucky and unlucky test taker. So, sinasabi dito na may mga test taker talaga na lucky enough to guess the correct answer. Kumbaga, may ibang estudyante, especially if the test is conducted in a classroom or sa school, may mga estudyante na sinasabi talaga sa sarili nila na they are really good or they are very lucky in choosing the best choice kahit na wala naman talaga silang idea doon sa question na yun. May iba nga na nag-guess lang based on the pattern of the answers and everything. So, ayun, kailangan din yung i-consider in guessing. And then next naman, we have item fairness. Of course, when we say item fairness, it is the degree to which an item is biased. Kapag sinabi natin biased ang isang item, may possibility na mas pinapaboran yung other group rather than the group as a general. Kumbaga, may discrimination doon pa lang sa pag-take ng test na yon. So, when an item may have been favorable to another group rather than testing a sample or a population as general. So, ayun yun. So, malalaman na biased yung item na yun through the use of item characteristics curve. So, through this, an item can be considered biased if it shows differential item functioning. Ang differential item functioning naman is the difference in the item characteristics curve even if the test score of the two groups do not differ. So, kumbaga sa certain item na yon, may malaking difference between the answers of the group na favorable doon sa certain item na yon. So, magkaiba yung curve based doon sa result. So, kahit na if you total the scores, magkapareho yung result ng exam, but then there are certain items na, ayun nga, mas lumalabas na favorable siya doon sa isang group na yon. So, ang conclusion naman dito sa item fairness is that if an item is seen as biased, kailangan talaga siyang i-revised or i-discard totally and hindi na isalin sa mismong test. And for the third and last, we have speed test. So, sa speed test, from the word itself, and as we all know, kapag speed test, may, kumbaga, yung test takers are timed, or kumbaga, may time limit. There's a limit on how long the test takers can take a certain test. So, in speed test, interpretations taken during this condition may yield inaccurate result. So, may possibility na yung result or yung meaning na yung interpretation na binigay sa certain item na yun can be inaccurate or hindi talaga siya yung true na dahilan kung bakit ganun yung naging result. Kasi unang-una, sa speed test, may possibility na magmamadali yung isang test taker kasi nga time at baka hindi niya matapos na sagutan yung whole test na yun. Also, kasi nga timed, may ibang student na possible na wala sa focus kasi dahil sa pagmamadali, ganun. And also, may iba rin naman na mabilis lang talaga magsagot, ganun. Although, this can be a good way to discriminate the test takers who know the material well and those who do not. So, ayun nga, kasi nga, mabilis nakarating yung isang test taker doon, possible na mas alam niya yung material compared doon sa iba na hindi nakarating sa or hindi nakaabot until the end of the test. However, the analysis can be difficult kasi nga nasabi ko kanina, there are a lot of condition or a lot of factors that may affect bakit hindi nakaabot until the end yung estudyante. So this is because there is a possibility that the rest of the items, or kung bakit siya mahirap i-analyze, because the rest of the items will not be answered by other test takers, making those who are analyzing to come up with a decision of whether or not a test item should be retained depending on those who have reached those items. Kasi nga, kakaunti lang yung nakarating sa last part, kumbaga may mga test items na maaaring makonsider as difficult even if hindi naman talaga siya ganun ka-difficult. It just happened na hindi nakarating yung ibang test taker doon sa question na yon. Also, kasi nga kakaunti lang yung nakarating sa item na yon, may possibility na yun yung gagamitin ng sa pag-analyze ng item to decide whether or not to retain, revise, or discard that certain item. So meaning, kakaunti lang yung sample, so may possibility na magiging less reliable yung result ng interpretation na yon. Also, aside from that, the sample may be viewed as selected. Parang doon sa item na yon, doon pa lang dinidiscriminate yung mga mas may alam kaysa sa hindi. And also, the test items may be considered easier than they really are, just because test takers who know the material answered it correctly and efficiently. So dahil nasagutan din siya ng mga magagaling, kumbaga, at saka mas may alam doon sa material na yon, may possibility rin na i-identify siya as an easy item, and may possibility na i-retain or i-revise. So ayun, although mahirap i-interpret yung mga ganoong circumstances sa item analysis, but then having the knowledge of this may help us na before deciding whether or not to retain or revise or discard that certain item, malalaman natin na may iba pa palang factor kung bakit possible na hindi nasagutan or possible na naging tama yung answer ng isang test taker. But then, as we have discussed, reliable din naman yung result ng kung i-base natin sa item discrimination and item difficulty index. So again, for the other considerations in item analysis, we have the guessing, and then we have the item fairness and the speed test. So that would be all. Here are my references. Thank you.